From losing over 500 grand in a week to making tens of millions in a couple months, WallstreetBets really has it all. And in order to honor its history, I decided to make a tier list of the most iconic posts this subreddit has. For those who don't know what the subreddit is, it's essentially a gathering of the worst investors you know, all coming together to collectively lose their money. Sad Nefarious 10, $700,000 YOLO update. This should never be a sentence you type out. So after this guy's grandma passed away, he found himself with a fairly large inheritance. Figuring he had the method, he dumped all of it into Intel on August 1st. So what happened on August 2nd? Intel announces mass layoffs and dividend suspensions. Shares slumped 26%. This guy lost over 160 grand in one day. That's like the equivalent of 8 brand new Honda Civics. This story instantly became iconic in WallstreetBets culture and is still massive to this day. Definitely a no contest test here. Control the narrative. Listen, we all knew this was coming. Our hero here discovered a glitch in Robinhood, allowing him to trade on more than generous margins. And so after sufficiently leveraging to my personal risk tolerance, he traded 2 grand with the power of 50 grand. Now his second stroke of genius was buying puts on Apple. Because hey, when has Apple ever gone up? As we all know, he live streamed his reaction on Market Open. This is arguably the most iconic post. Hot take, I'm gonna give this A tier. I think it's a little overrated. But what people don't know was that Control the Narrative was a thinker. And being a modern day Socrates, he asked some great questions. What are some good corporations to invest in that don't have women? What a menace. B tier. With any great discovery comes people who use that discovery. How much can I leverage with this glitch? Thought Reddit user would see 93. 5x, 20x, 50x, try 80x. And then losing it all and getting your account shut down. So what did he invest in?
And how big was the position again that you took?
All in total with, so I had a $950,000 Tesla position, a $77,000 Apple position, and then a $350,000 put position on Apple. So all in total, that's like 1.3 something million.
Time to one-up Control the Narrative. I want everyone here to appreciate this title. It's almost like this guy doesn't know he's gambling with $1.3 million of borrowed money. Are you guys seeing a trend here? A distinct lack of brain activity in the frontal lobe. Let's just put this right here. Now, not every post here is a loss. Some get lucky. Some strike gold. African gold in the form of Bitcoin. I'd like to think he waited till 69,000 to post this. Basically, his friend got mugged in Morocco, and being a kind soul, he gave him $250 to get by. His friend really didn't have a way of paying him back, so he gave him Bitcoin 9 years ago. The charts don't even go back 9 years. You can figure this one out. This guy just made a stupid amount of money. I have the wrong type of broke friends. Yeah, my luck, I would've got paid in Farmville cash. Posts like these just make you happy to see. Like, what if that happened to me? It won't, but it's nice to think about. B tier is pretty fitting for this. It's a short and sweet story. Alright, it's time for a switch up. Most of these posts have been about burning or printing money. None have been just about the cultural impact and shaping of WallstreetBets history. Martin Shkreli AMA. Shkreli was a hedge fund manager from 2009 to 2012 who specialized in shorting medical grade companies. Because, you know, why invest in curing diseases when you can bet against the cure? Martin wasn't just content with running a measly old hedge fund worth $100 million. Our hero had bigger plans. In 2015, he made headlines when his company, Turing Pharmaceuticals, acquired the life-saving drug Daraprim. In a moment of just pure aura farming, he did the unthinkable.
CEO Martin Shkreli caused a public uproar when he drastically raised the price of a life-saving drug for cancer and AIDS patients. He promised to cut the cost. That was 2 months ago. Now, Don Dahler reports Shkreli has reneged on that promise. The price for individuals will stay the same.
Bruh. He jacked up the price from $13 to $750 per pill. Per pill. That's a markup so insane it made airline baggage fees look generous. Thank you, ChatGPT. Nicknamed Pharma Bro by the media, Shkreli seemed to bask in the notoriety, even live streaming himself bragging about it.
Act like the Albanian Jew that you are, all right?
But as it turns out, karma has a prescription for everyone, and in 2017, Martin was arrested. Not for hiking drug prices, but for securities fraud. Martin is just so symbolic of your average WallstreetBets user. Greed, securities fraud, making millions, losing millions, everything in between. After a 7-year hiatus in prison, you think the man would learn to stay away from people like us. But old habits die hard, and the week he was released, he dropped this on us. Do you still have that yee-yee ass haircut? Just got one. Please get rid of this. This is a terrible haircut. Are you still allowed to trade all asset securities, or have certain restrictions been placed on you? You actually can never be banned from investing. If you could be, I would. Laugh out loud. I think that answers this question. As such a legendary figure, his post-game return has been lackluster. C tier. Selling naked calls. If you don't understand investing, you're probably very concerned. But don't worry, because Reddit user Substantial Voice 48 was a lot more concerned. After he decided to sell naked calls on AMC, God heard him and gave him something called a gamma squeeze. Now if you're selling calls without protection, this is the last thing you want. I'm gonna try and simplify this, but imagine you're selling a call without actually owning the underlying stock. The option goes in the money and you're liable if someone exercises the call. You buy the stock along with other people in your situation who also sold calls. This drives the stock price higher, triggering more calls to go in the money, causing option sellers to buy more of the stock. This feedback loop is called a gamma squeeze, and it is rarely seen. This all could have been avoided by just owning deep out of the money calls. But alas, this is how we ended up with a 600k loss in a matter of minutes. Another comfortable B tier. We all knew this was coming.
America's new band of day traders created 11 hours of pure financial mania yesterday.
Shares of the video game retailer GameStop have suddenly become a white-hot must-own.
Losing hundreds of millions for years, suddenly saw its stock go up by 1,600%.
GameStop hit an astonishing $365.
We're gonna fuck their whole system up.
Roaring Kitty, deep fucking value, the GOAT, the man who stood where no man dared to stand. There are just a comically large amount of posts he's made, so I chose the two most significant ones. Hey Burry, thanks for jacking up my cost basis. This was early. Nobody had a clue of what was to come. Haha, remind me if this stupid fuck lost it all in a week. This couldn't have aged any better. Bro, lock in and get a job. No one said this, but I imagine this was the overall sentiment. $40 million in one congressional hearing later, it's safe to say Roaring Kitty made the right bet. This post gets B tier. His final post. After initially getting hate from the entire subreddit, his faith and confidence shined through.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Roaring Kitty.
Everybody was rooting for not only GameStop, but Roaring Kitty. This one man is what defined this entire subreddit. This can go right at the top in S tier.